and welcome to episode 3 of the 4 YouTubers of the Apocalypse. We're missing one YouTuber today, but we're still here for you guys. I'm Anna Smith, and I have Stephanie So Scandalous and Xavier from The Inspiration on YouTube here with me. Today, we're talking about the Nick Cannon scandal. He was recently fired from Viacom, CBS, for racial remarks, and we're going to talk about how we all feel about that. So who wants to start?
Xavier.
Hey, you want me to start? All right, well, I'm going to go straight. I'm going to go into another direction that people probably didn't really go, because I've listened to different people talk about this, different shows, and then, of course, the news. But Roseanne Barr did something similar to what Nick Cannon did. She made racist remarks about black people. Talking about apes and all this other stuff. You can look it up. And she apologized, but she got canceled. She has nothing now. Like, I don't think Roseanne even has a show now.
That sounds familiar.
So Nick Cannon, pretty much, he lost his Viacom contract, but he still has the Masked Singer. And we also got to remember, point blank, Nick Cannon is a part of the whole, the whole Illuminati and all this other stuff. He's a part of that. Even when we look at it, all they did basically was spank their own. That's the way I look at it.
Stephanie.
Well, I mean, when I see it, I see, this trend that celebrities and mainstream media, as long as you're on the left and you're with their narrative, you can just come out and say, I apologize. I'm saddened. I didn't mean to hurt anybody. And Nick Cannon says, my brother and sister, Jewish people. You mean your brother and sister? You just got done saying all white and Jews were savages, dude. Like, make up your mind, dude. Why is it okay for these people to say this stuff after we've just had several years of everybody getting doxxed, cut off from Uber, cut off from bank accounts, cut off literally anybody who speaks against them, like Laura Loomer, all these other conservative talking heads, they were defunded from GoFundMe, like Candace Owens. Why is it that us conservatives, regardless of what race you are, whatever you support, you could be LGBTQ, and if you're not on their side, they're going to attack you too. It's whatever they don't want to hear, but it's only aimed toward the left. And if the right says anything, even mild, that they can be manipulated or twisted, you're just done. But the left is, oh, I'm sorry. And I find it odd that he runs to a rabbi to help defend his cause. No, dude, you can't do that. Admit it. You're racist. You're racist. You're prejudiced toward white. You said we're savages because we're
savages.
Yeah.
The fact that he went to a rabbi specifically kind of sounds like virtue signaling to me, since he said it's something anti-Semitic, and that's a Jewish person. So it's kind of laughable. To be honest, when I first found out about it, like a few days ago or whenever, I was pretty angry, and I was like, good, I'm glad he was fired, and like get rid of him, all that. But having like thought about it more and like heard other people's commentaries, free speech is important, because like if we didn't know about what happened with the Holocaust, for example, like we wouldn't understand how dangerous it is to be like a neo-Nazi or things like that. We wouldn't have as much of a grasp on why things matter, I guess. So like, I guess I am okay with him still having a platform, but I would like for him to not be monetized. And like, if people want to support him on their own, then whatever. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Well, really, why even have a podcast? Like, that's our lane. We're not stars, not celebrities, but a lot of celebrities now, they're trying to, I guess, build up on the cash they already have and try to do both worlds. They want to be a celebrity, want to be into entertainment, and they still want to do YouTube too and get that money. So it's all like a big greed thing. Like, ridiculous, And then like, also, I don't care about him getting fired or whatever, but I don't have a lot of remorse for him being fired either, because like I said, he's connected. And then also, he's been bragging about how he's his own boss. So if he's his own boss, that he doesn't need Viacom.
I guess
he don't need none of these people. He can go out here and just make his own whole company or show whatever he needs to do.
Yeah. But I heard that he was like, sorry. What was the last part? What was the last thing you said?
Oh, no, I said, why does he make his own show? It's really his own show, his own channel. Like Puffy. Puffy has Revolt.
Yeah.
Puffy actually offered him a job too.
Okay.
I didn't look deep into that, but I'm like, why would? So I kind of feel like, you know, it's like the Illuminati saying, you messed up, you want to come back home, you know what you got to do. You know, go get on that couch and welcome back home.
Do you guys like agree with the narrative out there that like Jewish people tend to like kind of run everything in Hollywood and stuff like that? Like they're kind of at the top, a lot of them.
Well, hold on. Let's think about it this way. We just had 4 congresswomen trying to boycott Israel.
Yeah.
Okay. And they allowed it on mainstream media.
Yeah.
So when we see celebrities and stuff doing this and Hollywood picking up on it, we need to hold the people accountable in our government who are pushing to boycott Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're undercover. So why aren't we looking at the source of this defect that's going on in our country that's brought all this division and focusing on the source of the problem instead of looking at who said what and this and that and fact checking? We already know where it's coming from. Like, why don't we why isn't anybody held accountable for the crap they're starting? Hollywood's not held accountable. Congresswomen aren't held accountable. Instead, people prop them up. And it's disgusting. And it is all about money.
I was asking that because Xavier said that it was like the Illuminati was telling him that he messed up. But like the main thing that was focused on why he was fired is because he was anti-Semitic, even though he said way more and worse stuff about white people. So I was putting that together. Like, are some Jewish people like part of the Illuminati? Is that what you're getting at?
No, what I'm getting at is that the Illuminati pretty much there's different factions of it. There's a black part, white part, all that. So I don't know which one he actually upset. But, you know, you have the Hasidic Jews, you have the the regular Jews with the what they call it, small hats, But, and we're not talking bad about Jews, you two.
Yeah, no, I know.
But
I'm sorry.
The whole thing is like there's like a power level, and like it gets to a point where even the Illuminati members of that can't say certain things because like you step on step on their feet, they're gonna make you say. They don't care about all the other junk.
Yeah.
Oh, Steph.
Who's going to control the controllers, though? We're all victims of it.
Yeah, I know.
But see, this rhetoric and the reason why more people are not shocked and taken back by it or offended is because we've been slowly hearing people in our government in Hollywood constantly putting it out here little by little by little. So they're normalizing it to where people aren't having such a what kind of reaction.
Yeah,
just like when you see somebody getting pulled out of a car and beaten in the middle of the road at a light. People aren't affected by it anymore because we've been slowly conditioned that this is our normal, but it's not normal. So I think we should just boycott all these people. We're not the problem. They are.
Who are you referring to by these people?
All of them. Hollywood, the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds are the ones that are behind Jewish people.
Okay.
They're more like Zionist.
Okay.
So it's like like I said, there's these secret societies. There's Skull and Bones. There's the Illuminati. There's the Masons. But but people are very what you could say programmed to think that President Trump is really pulling the strings. No, Nancy Pelosi and them wouldn't have been able to do all this if there wasn't somebody bigger playing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So if people don't wake up to that reality, well, shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, maybe that's why some people have complained that Trump hasn't done as much as he said he would, or like for like free speech or whatever else, I forget right now, but maybe it's because like he has so many people working against him and he's trying his best, and he also has to try to kind of placate the people who are against, so they don't have just like an upright, there's all sorts of things involved.
Well, it's an easy way to debunk half of that. Most of those people that say Trump is not doing anything don't know what Trump has done anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
They don't even know what Obama's done. So it's like,
well, no, actually, I'm talking about like some conservative people who like are on YouTube that they're like, yeah, he's good in all these ways, but like, what about such and such that he's so? Yeah.
What you mean, the guy with the L in his name? Him, I'm not gonna say his name. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure right now.
We don't know what side. We don't know what side he's on right now because like 1 minute he'll be dogging the right.
You're talking about yes.
He dogs the right one day. Then next day he'll dog the left.
Yeah.
And then he'll try to say they're both stupid. And then like he'll try to get people to still rock with him, whatever. But he's lost so many subscribers.
Yeah. I guess he's trying to be balanced, which I respect, but I know I see what you mean.
But that's what the conservatives is. We're a balance. If they're talking good over there on the left, by all means, we'll go over there to the left and listen to what they got to say. Yeah. But they ain't talking good on the left. That's why we toe the line.
Yeah.
But people are missing the big point. It's not about being on the left or right. It's about morals, values, you know, what people are, they're dipped in bad. Like we're in a spiritual war. It's good versus evil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not about the left, the right. It's just certain labels we're putting on different areas. But at the end, we're all human. You know, we just all want the same thing. But instead, people are dividing themselves, hating each other, and they don't realize we're all walking into this gas chamber together. Control. At the end of the day, we're all screwed. Like in Massachusetts, they're saying their 4-phase opening, you have to have a vaccine to go into a bar or a restaurant. People aren't paying attention. Instead, they're totally immersed in what Fox is saying, CBS, trying to fact check and all this other stuff. But the truth is, it's really evil what's coming. But people are so, I guess, distracted with all this other crap. And honestly, I think it is just a front. I think a lot of it is planned out just to create more upset and unrest in different areas. So you're not paying attention to what they're doing in the background. They're playing with our heads.
I mean, growing up in Christian church, like I learned all about this since I was a child, that like there's going to be an antichrist one day, and he would basically be saying that he's trying to like bring peace to the world after like everything gets super chaotic, and that's what it looks like is happening right now.
Pretty much. I mean, if you think about it, look at all the natural disasters going on everywhere.
Yeah.
And you see like today, Catholic Cathedral in France is on fire from arson. So when you think about it, Nick Cannon making those comments could trigger somebody to go burn Catholic churches. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're burning Christian churches, but you don't see mosques getting burned. Does anybody pay attention to this kind of stuff? Because when you have Muslim congresswoman trying to boycott Israel, celebrities being anti-Semitic, Catholic churches are burning. Do people not put it together? It's like little bits of the pieces of the puzzle that you got to really step back and look at to see the overall view. And a lot of people don't do that because they're like total tunnel vision from mainstream media.
Everyone should be able to, you know, worship freely with no problem. But the funny thing about it is like, if you disrespect Islam or any Muslim, they're willing to die for that. They're not playing with you about their religion. But it seems like Christians, you know, they let stuff slide. Like, you know, all these churches being closed, and people are worried more about wearing masks and you know, be able to go outside and to fighting for the right to be able to worship with no problems. Like all these churches closed down, and they're looking at the governors and the mayors like they're so great, but they can't even go and worship.
Yeah.
Like out there in California with Newsom, not letting people sing in church, like that's the craziest thing I ever heard. And here in New York, I don't even know if church is open here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just got an email from my pastor a couple days ago or something saying we don't know what we're going to do right now because they don't want us to even like gather or something like that, and like we're just taking it one day at a time. Basically, it's just sad. Yeah.
But you know what? Gavin Newsom's wineries are open.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah,
Owns wineries, they're not closed.
Yeah.
And another thing, if they're going to close everything, why not close the banks down? Because everybody's going in there handling money. Why isn't there the biohazard sign?
That ain't happening.
You know what I'm saying?
Why are we not forced to buy groceries online?
And they charge you a crap load of money to deliver it.
Yeah.
And then they'll just dump it off on your door.
No, but I'm saying like, why aren't they saying we have to close every single last thing, and we have the internet, so we're fine. You know what I mean? Like they're picking and choosing.
You know what? Put something on the floor like Uber Eats has the no contact delivery. Yeah, any of you got that?
Yeah.
They put your food in a box on the floor. next to your door. Like, I don't want my food on the floor.
You know,
I wouldn't even want it.
that's actually literally a health code violation.
No contact delivery, never. I wouldn't do that.
Gross.
It's disgusting.
I wouldn't trust it either. But the sad thing is, people don't understand. The people in these restaurants, they're breathing and touching everything. So if this was that deadly of a virus, we'd all have caught it and we'd all be dead by now.
I know, right?
7 months. Come on. It's all political. It's all political.
I mean, yeah, the death rate is so low. I'm pretty sure the flu was higher, and nobody cares about that.
Did you see the thing with the guy that died in a motorcycle accident in California?
Yeah, I was just hearing about that.
Death. And then when he was getting interviewed by the news crew, he was like, well, COVID could have attributed to his accident. I'm like, here we go. My God, you people will gaslight and project and manipulate and twist anything. His breathing created, his lack of oxygen from COVID caused him to crash his motorcycle.
Yeah. So going back to Nick Cannon, like, I know his main influence or whatever, I think, is Louis Farrakhan, who isn't he the leader of the Black Hebrew Israelites?
He's the I don't know what his proper title is, but he's part of the Nation of Islam. He's not doing the Hebrew Nation of Islam.
Okay.
The what?
He's not
Nation of Islam.
Nation of Islam. Or the NOI. He's not affiliated with the Hebrewites. The Hebrew Israelites. He's not affiliated with them.
I kind of assumed
whole nother organization.
Okay.
But they both
I
hate
thought maybe
God.
he was since Nick Cannon. I know Nick Cannon said that he listened to Farrakhan, and then he was saying that the Jews usurped their position, like Black people's position, or something. So I thought, but okay. But I know I've heard that even the SPLC has. I looked it up the other day, and they call Louis Farrakhan the leader of a hate group. But so I don't know why he hasn't been canceled. I mean, I do know, but I'm just making a point. Yeah.
But people need to start petitions to end this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's
actually get serious.
How long is it going to take Christians and other all of us who just want to be left alone? What is it going to take for us before we start saying, right is right, wrong is wrong, and you're kind of screaming about racism, discrimination. We have to respect Muslim prayer. In schools, they have special prayer rooms, but we can't talk about God. So why aren't people talking about the cancel culture of religion too?
Yeah.
People aren't talking about we have to respect Islam. We have to do all this stuff.
Why?
Christians, we're getting crapped on every other second. So what's up with that? And why doesn't anybody question it?
Not to mention that I saw a post on a friend's page recently. It was pictures from 2017 of African slaves of Islam people in somewhere other country where they live, and it was just so heartbreaking. It's that's the people we're trying to protect here is Islam, and they're doing that, and you guys are saying Black Lives Matter and what?
Yeah, what they don't realize is everything that's LGBTQ, marrying same sex, once they take over, just like Putin just banned all same-sex marriage and LGBTQ stuff, they're going to do it here after they get power. They're just brainwashing these idiots to go protest and think that they're actually special and different when it's a mental health disorder. No, the minute they get power, they're going to pull the same crap that they're doing in other countries. It's a slow, played out thing. And people are looking at the West and they're seeing us fall into the trap. And they're like, shit, if the West goes down, we're all going down. So people in other countries are literally watching us fall apart. If you watch Australian news channels, I do, but they're all what
I
are
do
they
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they're all looking at each other everybody sees what's going on, but not here. Here, oh no, put your mask on.
Makes me
Here, we don't fight for just don't fight for certain things. I don't understand why that is. We fight for meaningless rights. We don't fight for things that's really right that we should fight for.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all. Like your religion, things like that. But it's like how, for instance, when Trump put the mask on, so it's I know he confused the mess out of people. I was laughing. I was like, I already know that was a plot to put it on. He don't care about no mask. You put it on. If you want to say you put it on for a reason, yeah, he was in the hospital. to go see those
Okay.
what was it, veterans or something, or some old people we went to go see. Somebody went to see in the hospital. So yeah, you put the mask on.
Yeah.
I would do that too.
Yeah.
Not so much for me, for both.
Yeah. For
It's
them.
like the same concept in the street because like you can't tell me you're in the fresh air and you're worrying about wearing a mask. Like
Yeah.
how I went over this concept before about you eating, and when you get in the restaurant, you can take the mask off to eat. So
Yeah, but
if it's
not
that
at
bad,
Walmart
you got
and
exposed
Chula Vista.
already. You already got exposed as soon as you take it off.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But I mean, the bottom line, the most important thing to all of this is that this was all predicted in the Bible. So, you know, people watching, you should read the Bible, Matthew 24, Revelations, wherever else, to see how it lines up to reality. That's the most important thing. And, you know, besides taking care of yourself, being prepared for whatever's coming.
Do you
Well, I think a
believe,
lot
I
of
don't want to
people
like go too far off, but do you believe the Antichrist is actually one person, or is it actually like a deity? Like it can be several people. That's
Sorry. I think I've always been taught that it was one person who was kind of like being controlled by Satan in a way, but I don't know.
I think it's a deity.
I'm sorry? What?
I think it's a deity. It's a spiritual thing because, I mean, when you really look at it, our whole history has been played with. Even the Bible, everything has been manipulated. Yeah. Every civilization. Once one conquers the other, it takes out history and all that.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at it from that perspective, it's not an actual physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. And we're dealing with a really negative, evil spirit.
Yeah.
I think that spirit can take over several when you think about it.
Yeah, it could.
Like the AI could be the Antichrist. We don't know.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I know it's fueled by Satan. That's all I really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows who the Antichrist is? Because there's so many evil people among us. It's hard. Like I try to like research it and put it together, and I'm just like, there's too many of these crazy people.
I know, right? Yeah.
That movie Fallen with Denzel Washington, the old movie. It kind of like, that's what you're saying. Like when he's going around jumping bodies, putting the evil spirit in the people. Like just
I don't know if I've seen it.
Yeah, you gotta look at that movie. Well, pray first. Pray first.
This is not the first time I've heard this type of idea, but I was watching a documentary the other day. I think it's called Behind the Veil. It was like hosted by a guy who worked in Hollywood as a stuntman, and like he's starting to see all the realities of everything, and he was like, this is all like literal programming, like there's hidden messages in like every single movie. Like I've already kind of seen that myself. It was interesting hearing it from him.
It's a matrix. We're literally living in a matrix. Majority of people don't even understand it because they believe whatever the news tells them.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally have people calling the cops on people who are not wearing a mask. And when people, when you have a sheriff giving a press conference saying, look, call the health department, not the police. Then I saw a commercial yesterday and it was an ad like, if your neighbor's vacuuming at midnight, don't call 911. like this is mainstream. This is how programmed these people are. They'll call the cops if you're vacuuming at midnight. They'll call the cops and attack you and hit you with a shopping cart if you're not wearing a mask. Like they've built their army of stupids, and they're all programmed by mainstream. So when you think about it, people are living in two different realities. There's the red pill and the blue pill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Two realities.
I've called the cops on my neighbors kind of recently, but it's because every single night consistently they're yelling and screaming and things like that, like late into the wee hours of the morning. So, like, I didn't know what was going on.
Well, that I understand, but vacuuming, come on.
Yeah. If you know that's all that's happening, then yeah.
Yeah. It's
I haven't heard of anybody like giving anybody up yet.
Good.
Anybody what?
I haven't heard of anybody reporting that somebody didn't have a mask on as of yet. But I wouldn't put it past either.
When I went to Walmart in Chula Vista the other day, they told me they would call the police if I didn't leave because I was sitting there trying to eat the food I bought. I was like, is it a law? Is it a law? And there's like, leave. Anyway.
That's one of my favorite places nowadays is the park. I like going to the park because I can social distance and all that crap and stay away from everybody.
Yeah, I was trying to social distance. Like, I care, I just wanted to eat.
What happened to minding your own business? If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Why are people so obsessed with tattletaling on everybody? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it freaked me out to the point that I put that video on private because I just had too much anxiety about it all. I feel better now.
I've actually seen road signs now with like the digital print to call a number to report people who are driving, like a picture of the person in their car who doesn't have a mask on, or report it.
Oh, that's
so
messed up.
They say it's anonymous, right? It's anonymous to tattletale on somebody in their car who's not wearing a mask, right? They say you don't have to give your name or their name, nothing. You just take a picture of the person and send it to this hotline. So you're telling me facial recognition is a real thing and it's not a conspiracy then? Because how are you going to know who's wearing that, not wearing their mask?
Unless they're just trying to like gather data on how many people are doing it.
But it's suspect, right?
Yeah, that's creepy.
You're saying things are anonymous, but you're tracking us. How is that happening?
And if they're allowed to take pictures of people in cars, then I can record the people who were like harassing me.
It is harassment. If somebody's minding their own business and I call them Karen masks. Like, we should have a law, like you can sue somebody harassing you if they're a Karen for the mask police. If like they come and harass you in a store, we should pass a bill to protect us and sue them for reparations for giving us PTSD behind a mask. Like, leave me alone, you crazy psycho. Go start. If you're that scared, stay home with your mask on. Leave me alone.
Karens
Shove
versus
that mask somewhere.
Yeah.
Because they're everywhere. It's like they just fall out of trees somewhere and they're just like recording, where's your mask? It's like,
no, there was a video of a guy who said that to like these ladies who kept popping out, screaming at him at a store. He's like, you guys are like monkeys dropping out of trees.
Dude, I hope none of them are black.
No, they weren't. Yeah.
Racist, okay?
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, you would see it all over the internet. Racist white man.
Yeah.
Black parents, monkeys.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the airport thing recently, right?
I don't think
the airport where I think you had posted it with the it was a bunch of people jumping up the white lady. They was beating her up for her bag. I don't know what it was about, but like they were beating her up inside of an airport.
I saw that, dude. That was brutal.
Her husband had to get involved. Like they were just jumping her. Like,
I can't even watch things like that. It affects me too much.
I try not to, but after a while, it's just
Well, because it happened to me. Like I was beat up all the time, so I just can't even look at it. Yeah.
But I mean, think about it. We're numb to it. We've been watching people literally get attacked for. It started out wearing a Trump hat. Now you're not wearing a mask. Now then it's going to be, oh, you're not vaccinated. Where's your COVID paper? Then you're going to start attacking you with the vaccine.
What does that remind you of?
It's a violation of HIPAA. You can't ask somebody about their medical medical background. So I wonder how that's going to work.
You know what? HIPAA laws. That's right. I forgot.
I know. Yeah.
I went to nursing school, so HIPAA laws. Yeah, dang, that's a good idea. Like, why doesn't anybody? It is our privacy. Like, you don't see people with HIV or AIDS having to carry a card around.
No.
You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. They're only after COVID.
It would help.
Microchip.
I know it would with HIV.
Everybody can get in the bed. About to get in the bed with somebody, and as soon as you about to kiss her, you just starts glowing, and she's like, "Wait a minute!
Can I see your papers?"
I'm glowing. Why are you glowing? They said here on the chart that when you glow red, that means you got that stuff. Like, got it. Yeah.
Can you imagine the black market for papers and COVID?
That's a good one.
There's going to be a whole black market on this. Hopefully, I didn't give anybody thought. But I mean, I'm just thinking about it. There's a whole place out there who's like already getting prepared to make some fake documents or give you a fake tattoo or something. Because people are scared.
Yeah.
And I mean, you literally have people coming out and saying like, "What's going on?" And Bill Gates this and Bill Gates that. The people in Africa literally just are saying, "No, we know what he's doing." And one of the head guys was just killed. So but then I'm seeing Massachusetts forced vaccine where you can't go into public places. I'm like, oh God, help us, baby Jesus.
It makes me just want to scream and go, I don't know, crazy.
Yeah, we just got to give it to God.
Yeah,
pray for the
amen.
best, for the
Amen.
worst. That's all we can do. It's out of our control. We can't control it. All we can do is try to tell other people what's going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we're winding down to close out here. So maybe this time we can successfully each say our names and where else you can find us on the internet. So I'm Anna Smith. I'm on YouTube as Anna's Thoughts and Musical Parodies for my personal channel. Instagram, My Thoughts and Songs. And I'm on Twitter and Parler as well. So that'll be in the description. Next. Either
That's
one.
pretty much all you had to say, because I ain't going to go through all of that.
Yeah.
In the description, you'll find all our information, even including Marquez's,
Yes.
even though he's not here right now.
Yes, we'll still
everybody's information and how to get us in the description box.
Yeah.
Any last words?
All right, I'm Stephanie So Scandalous, and I use a lot of profanity in my channel, so if you're offended by that, don't watch my videos. I just kind of go off on my own tangents, but yeah, you can find me at Stephanie So Scandalous, Instagram, Stephanie Scanlon, and the other stuff's in the bio.
Like, share, subscribe.
Share.
Yes, hit the notifications. Share. Please, thank you. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.